Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let me know if this is working. As I've been saying, I can see myself, can't hear myself, and I guess yesterday we had a little bit of trouble with the audio and the video syncing up. So let me know if things. Oh no, another delay on the audio. All right, so let's see what we can do about that. What is this one? Audio input capture, video device capture. Still a delay there? Video is behind. All right. I'm really not sure why that keeps happening. A couple of seconds. Yeah, it's still not good. I'm gonna look at my settings, so bear with me. I appreciate you guys helping me out with this. I don't know why it's doing this. It was working fine last week. I'm using, as far as software goes, I'm using OBS, which is a online broadcast something or whatever. But it was working last week, and now it's not working. So let me try something. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working anymore. Let me try a couple of things here. You know what? I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm gonna do a couple of changes on the settings, and then I'll be right back. So if you can't hang, that'd be great. I'll be right back. Any better? Do we have anything usable here? Anything at all? One, two, three, four. It is working now. Ryan is not seeing anything. Give it a few seconds, Ryan, because it might need to buffer. Nice. Sync is good. The video doesn't look as clear to me as it did before. Is that the same on your end? I think there is actually a way that I can see if this is working myself too. All right, there we go. The video's pretty clear. All right, well, I'm making progress. I'm not sure what I changed, but whatever it is, seems to be working. Yes, I'll try not to jump around. I'll sit like this. How's that? Good? All right, well, thank you for being my technical, whatever you want to call it here, technical guide. So I'm not going to touch any more settings. We'll leave it at that. Now, the next issue that I had yesterday, I'm going to turn my Helix on, because the next issue that I had was when I was running the Helix yesterday, I was using the editor too, and for some reason, the editor, I don't know why it's blocking you. Let me see if I can change. Yeah, there's no way for me to. It says automatically block spam messages, so I'm gonna uncheck that for now. Maybe that helps. Well, I unchecked this block spam, so maybe that'll help you out a little bit. All right, so let's. My Helix is up, And what I was saying was, when I was trying to use the editor while doing all this yesterday, playing and, you know, doing a live stream, the editor was saying the Helix wasn't connected when it was, and even if I tried to, you know, unplug the USB, it still wasn't working correctly. But let's try it. I'll give it a go today and see how that works. Maybe by changing the video settings, something with the USB might have been off a little bit. Yep, USB is usually the problem. So I have a camera, I got the Helix, I have the microphone. How's the audio sound? Is the audio good? Loud enough? Voice-wise? Any of you other guys that are here, chip in on the chat if you want. Let me know if you can hear, if you can see, all that stuff. If the audio is synced up. Loud and clear, good. No sound or anything. I'll log on back in. Okay, let me type that to Ryan. All right, so I got my editor back up. So I guess let me grab my fiddle and we'll see if I have any issues today with this. Actually, I'm going to use my G70 wireless that I usually use. You should have heard that guitar coming through, I hope. Now, all right, so here's the next question. Are you hearing... No, right now I am only using... The Helix is running direct into my Focusrite interface. So you're actually getting the direct. Now, I'm not really mixing. I don't think I'm mixing it. I have two audio inputs on OBS. One is the mic that I have right here, which is a USB mic, and then I have the Helix on the second capture. So I do have studio monitors in the room. So what I should probably do is, let me shut those off and put on these gigantic headphones that I have. There we go. Any better? Speakers are now off. That's the speakers off. I'm going to move this camera a little bit. It's still strange because I'm seeing, what I'm viewing is the video like, I don't know, like like you were saying before, a couple of seconds behind what I'm actually doing. So if you see me watching, it's because I am in the audio too. If I put the audio up in my headphones, not the Helix itself, but just the microphone, it's a few seconds behind. Alright, so that you should be only hearing the Helix going direct into the computer, and I've got there are no speakers in the room right now doing anything, so you should not be hearing any other interference or like delay from speakers picking up through the mic. Let's see here. This, by the way, this preset was the last preset I ended on yesterday, which was the Van Hagar preset that's up on Custom Tone. I just love this preset. But we were talking about yesterday we were talking about Chad's OTB outside the box method of not using a cab or impulse response, but using an EQ curve. And if you want to, we can discuss that further, or we can whatever you guys feel like talking about. The main thing today was just to get this audio and video synced up, and it seems like it should be working the way it should be right now. So you should be getting that in stereo. Accent is Rhode Island, New England, near Boston. And it's funny because I don't hear the accent, obviously. So when I go somewhere else, I hear that accent. So yeah, so I people tell me it's pretty thick, but I don't hear it at all. Alright, cool, Mass. I'm actually playing, I got a gig Friday night up in Western Mass in Chicopee. Fun name, Chicopee, Mass, near West Springfield. Who else is on here? Greenfield. I think I've been to Greenfield before. Who else is on here? I go through this every time I do this. There's people watching. Ryan. Alright, good. You got it working and you haven't tested the OTB. Do you want to hear one of the OTB presets that I made? There's definitely a difference, as I was saying yesterday, and it's not a better difference or a worse difference. It's just different. But I'm sure if you mess around with it more, or if Chad messes around with it more, it can get even better. All right, let me put up. This is I used his EQ curve, and this is the SLO lead amp model. So you can probably hear. You can probably hear that the sound actually got small. I want to say smaller sounding. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I was hearing through the monitors. Smaller sounding is not as spread out, even though that it is in stereo still. And I do hear it's a little buzzy sounding, but that's probably because there's too much gain. Let me go to the plexi, where the gain should be down a little bit, but I'm not using any ODs. So that's the plexi with the OTB EQ curve. I wish Chad would jump on here. He's out on the West Coast, so it's probably a little bit early for him to be on here. Again, this is my ESP Sambora guitar that's been sitting around in my house and needs new strings and won't stay in tune very well right now. But I know, same excuse every day, but it's a fact. You're in Cali. Oh, cool. I'm up at like 5:30 every day. The kids have to get to school. Yes, the Rockman sound. That's what I was trying to remember yesterday. I'm glad you brought that up. It does have that, the Boston, funny that I'm in Rhode Island. It's got like a Boston kind of, I don't even know how to play that. Is that how that goes? So let me go on to a different. This is the JCM 800. Turn the guitar volume off at guitar. You're hearing string noise. It's probably picking up at the. It's probably picking up on the mic I have in the. There's nothing I can do about that unless every time. Let me try this. Every time I think I'm gonna play, I may forget sometimes. I can just hit this mute button. So let me try. Hold on. Was that any better? All right, cool. So I will try to remember to hit that button, but if I don't, it is what it is. Litigator, OTB Litigator. More people are jumping on. Say hello, people. So that's the litigator model with the OTB. And I mentioned it yesterday. I also have a low high cut after that EQ curve. I was doing that with the cabs anyway, so I figured I'd do it with this. I'm going to shut the EQ, the high low cut off, and see if there's a big difference or not. That's with the low cut, high cut off. Again, I'm in the headphones, so I can't really hear a huge difference in that. So I'm going to turn it back on. Who else is here? I'm seeing people jumping on this thing, but nobody says anything. Why you no speak? And I'll go to... Yeah, they are shy. Every time I do this, there's shy people. Alright, so this was, I did this yesterday. This was one of my live presets. And I forgot to shut the string noise again, but try that again. Hold on. So that is one of my main rhythms from my 2 amp preset that I had. That's up on Custom Tone on my website. That was the Marshall part of the 2 amp preset, which I think, yeah, the 2204 mod. You guys still with me? Yeah, somebody's here, so. It is still strange. I play and then I look up and I'm talking now, but then I can see myself playing. I don't know. There's got to be a way for me to get that synced up for myself, but maybe there's always going to be a delay. Yeah, 5 viewers. Different tones for the more modern Jovi stuff. I do. But again, it's every. I set up a preset for every song that we have in the set, but I'm just using that one preset that I have, and I just kind of change things here and there. So, for example, a song like, let's see, Lost Highway, which was the country album, I'm using the Fender, the US Deluxe Norm NRM. So it's got more of a obviously it's got less gain, a little bit different feel to it. Did I figure out a talk box? I actually have a talk box on my board. I got the Rocktron Banshee. Been using it for like 15 years, maybe even longer. And I do have a backup, but that one's been pretty good so far. But I use, and I haven't gotten to this yet, and I think it's possible, I use a Whirlwind ABY selector on the board too. So I can select the talk box or the helix, or I can have both at the same time, since the talk box, obviously the sound comes out through the tube, up through a microphone. But I'm wondering if I can use one of the effects loops on the helix and kind of not have to use that ABY box anymore. If I can run the Banshee into one of the effects, like say effects loop 1, because I don't use any of the loops right now. I don't use any of the pedals. Yeah, some people have asked about it, and I keep meaning to try it, but I just get busy with other things, and sometimes the board's not with me because we have a gig and it's packed up. I have to try that at some point, because if I can just set that so I can control if I hit a snapshot, I have the floor. Mic, yeah, the mic input. See, the problem is I use a separate mic. I use a 57 for the talk box, and I use a 58 usually for my vocal. So I got two mics set up, and both of those just go to front of house. Yeah, so if I run the mic, the talk box mic into the XLR, I need a way for that. That needs to get back out to the sound guy to have total control over that, and I haven't figured out how to do that, because I'm already running XLR outs out of the Helix into the Firehawk, and out of that in stereo to sound. So how would they have? I can't. My mind is like blank right now. How would they have control over that mic if I'm running, if it's still coming out of the Helix? I don't know if that makes sense. They would need total control over that volume for this to work. So I don't know how I would do that. Like I said, right now, the tube goes up to the mic, and the mic is running straight to them. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if they can run the mic like it is now, where it's coming off my mic stand right to them. Yeah, it would only be on 2 songs right now, which is It's My Life and Living on a Prayer. So if they had control of that mic, I'm just trying to figure out if the Banshee is in the loop of the Helix and I set it, in snapshots, how is it going to affect everything that I'm running here? So the 1/4 inch outs, yes, I'm using the 1/4 inch out for, actually my singer has his own in-ear setup that he runs himself. So I give him a feed from the Helix to his stuff. So that's what the 1/4 inch out is used for. So I don't think the mic would have to stay separate as far as the talk box goes. But I'm wondering, like I said, if there's a way, if I can keep that mic separate to front of house, and then also get the Banshee into the Helix with the effects loop, be able to set up a snapshot where I can, snapshot 1 would be just the talk box and it would still work. Snapshot 2 would be the talk box and the Helix coming through at the same time. Although they'd still be separate, wouldn't they? See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work. Unless it's something where, yeah, the 1/4 inch stuff, yeah, I'll have to try it out. My sound guy lets me bring my stuff over to his garage sometimes, and he sets up his PA, and we dial in tones that way. Yeah, I remember that, Ryan. I think I had the X3, but it just doesn't compare. It doesn't sound anywhere close to I wish I could set, maybe on another one of these streams I can set up the talk box somehow so you guys can hear it. Yeah, believe me, I've tried every onboard effect on every pedal board I've ever owned, and nothing comes close. Especially when you're doing Bon Jovi. I mean, if you're in a cover band and your band's doing "Living on a Prayer" and you don't want to have to buy a talk box for one song in your set, then you know those little effects like you guys are mentioning will work. But if you're doing a Bon Jovi tribute or who else, like a Peter Frampton tribute or something like that, you're going to need to use an actual talk box. Now, when I first started, I was using the Heal, whatever it's called, HEIL talk box, where you had it running through your amp, or you needed a separate amp just for that. But I kept blowing the fuses, so when I saw the Banshee, it's got its own 5-watt amp built into it. It's perfect. What's up, Richard? I like that name. I keep telling you that. Raspberry says, yeah, most of the crowd won't know. But if you're doing a Bon Jovi tribute, a lot of the crowd notices if you're not using the tube like Richie does. So I've seen Bon Jovi tributes that actually use the wah pedal for the talk box, or just use like one of these effects we're talking about without using the actual tube. People pick up on that because they obviously diehard fanatical Bon Jovi fans. Stick a fake tube not connected. Yeah, I guess you could do that, but just, I don't know. I'm a stickler for that kind of thing, so I need it to sound like almost exact to what you're used to hearing. Drunks won't know. Yes, we do play Runaway. This is my Runaway tone. Let me see. I mean, there's like 3 chords in the whole song, A, G, and F. An acoustic version of Runaway. Bon Jovi actually, I don't know if you saw that, I think it was called This Left Feels Right, where they did all acoustic versions of the songs and turned them into like elevator music. I'm pretty sure Runaway was one. I think they actually did Runaway acoustic with like the piano at some of the big concerts, full-blown concerts. I prefer the original. Richard uses one of my first custom tone patches for live use to lead a cabinet and run to a power amp. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Muzak. There's actually Raspberry. There's a cool version of, I think it's My Life acoustic, where it was something on MTV or one of those music channels. They had the singer and the guitar player from, what the heck is the name of that band? They were a newer band when this came out, and I don't even know if they're on. All American Rejects. They had them playing that song with them acoustic, and it was actually a pretty cool version. Their lead singer from the Rejects was singing this high thing in the background in the chorus, and it was different, but it sounded pretty cool. I still prefer the original though with the talk box. That's one thing I have to say, and that's why when I mentioned about the talk box, when people, they notice, because when we play Living on a Prayer and It's My Life, when those people hear that talk box, it's like if they're not paying attention, their heads just turn, like they can't believe that a tribute band is actually playing actually using the same stuff that Bon Jovi uses. So it's kind of cool to see that. And it always gets the crowd going when we play those 2 songs. That and those 2 and Wanted Dead or Alive. I want to say, what other... You Give Love a Bad Name. I think I went through this preset before, which is the intro. we have a 12 string for Dead or Alive? All right, let me try to explain this. We were actually using a double neck Ovation with a 12 string on it, and in the other neck was the 6 string. Used that for years. It was great for the show. Unfortunately, something happened to that. The neck got screwed up on that, and we sent it to a few places, and it cannot, from what we're told, it can't be repaired. And we were told, and actually Ovation told us this, that you would have to just get another guitar. So we're kind of in the middle of, do we spend the money on another one, or I'm actually using my Variax that with the 12 string setting for the intro to Wanted. I don't think I can play. I don't have my Variax here, or I would plug it in, but no, it's not here. So yeah, my singer plays all the John Bon Jovi parts, so John plays the acoustic in that. He's got the same guitar as John. So between that and the 12 string and the Variax, it works out well. It's good enough. I just wish we had the double neck back, because people used to really like that, and it was cool for the show, cool for photos. Sorry, I'm just looking at my phone. Like I said yesterday, I'm waiting on a couple of calls, but I'll stay here as long as people are watching. What else? What else is going on with you guys? I got so many windows open here. That preset, there's that octave on there. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. I don't know if this is going to be right. I think I've heard of Livewire, Ryan. I don't think we've played with Dirty Deeds, which is all up here in New England. Dirty Deeds, and I think there's a Fat Angus, and there's a Back in Black. Those are the only 3 that we may have done shows with, but I have heard of Livewire. You must be. I think there's more than one Livewire, so I'm not sure. Are you down south? Oh, Pennsylvania. All right. So did Livewire ever play the Mohegan Sun Pocono shows, the Thursday night concert series? I know they had Back in Black a few years, but I don't know about Live. All right. So Livewire is out of Long Island. I think there's one down in Florida too. Beefy DC. No, I've never heard of Beefy DC. That's actually a cool name. This here is the sound I have for the intro to Keep the Faith. Hey, what's up, Johnny Guitars? Halfway to Hell played this year, but I think last year or the year before it was Back in Black. Oh, sorry to hear about that. The guy you went to school with. That sucks. I love Tesla. Well, I am glad this is working today, and so far my Helix editor has not crapped out on me. It's still up. it had to do something when I changed the video setting, which I guess fixed the sync problem, and maybe it had something. Maybe I was trying too high of a resolution or something like that. But I have two monitors here that are up, so if you see me looking up, I'm not looking up, in the sky. I'm looking at the monitors. They're up higher than me. But I have my Helix editor over here on the big monitor, and then I have the video stuff, the YouTube stuff over here. Was I running at 1080? I think I was, but like I said, it worked last week. As far as the camera goes, I'm using a Logitech. It's the HD 1080p. I forgot which model it is, but it does output 1080, but for some reason, it seems like YouTube and OBS is not liking the 1080, so 1280 is good enough. C920, yeah, it might be the C920 or it's one of those. Let me see. Sorry, I'm going to move this. And obviously it doesn't say on the camera what it is, but I think it's one of those. So what else? What else is going on? We got 7 people on right now. Yeah, I tried a couple of different methods besides OBS, and OBS seemed to be the first of all, it was free with the most options on it, and it seemed to be the one that worked the best. I'm not even sure which encoder I'm using. Let me take a look here. Settings. Encoder is the X264. Hey Ryan, if you gotta go, you don't. I appreciate you sticking around, but don't get yourself in trouble there. Yeah, MP4. I don't even know if there's an option to change that on here. I'm taking a quick look. Well, even if there was, I couldn't change it now. I'd have to start this whole thing over again. So we'll just leave it at that for now. Maybe next time I'll try a different one. Cool. My phone is beeping. My watch is going off here, but nothing important. Go figure. How many songs does Bon Jersey do? I can tell you right now. I have every song. So there's 4 let's see, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 24. I think the number's around it's got to be at least 30 to 30. We actually do a lot more, but in recent years we've kind of cut out a lot of filler, if you want to call it that. Just songs that we may enjoy playing them, and there might be a couple of diehard fans that enjoy it, but for the most part we notice when people just don't pay attention. Trim the fat, yes. If for some reason they tried to block your trim the fat comment, so I just allowed it. How many songs do we put in a set? It really depends on the show. Like last week we just had a 50-minute set, and 9 songs, and it brought us to the whole 50 minutes, 9 songs. So this weekend we're doing, Friday night we're doing an 1.5 to 2 hour show, so that will be, we like to say we're the masters of wasting time on stage. I'd rather just play more songs, but I think in an 1.5, a 90-minute set, it would get around maybe 20 or so. Yeah, 20 or so, but when we do a song like Bad Medicine in a long set like that, Bad Medicine can end up being like 16 minutes on its own, because we'll do, after the solo, we'll have a little breakdown part, and we'll do stuff like pieces of Rockin' in the Free World by Neil Young. We'll do a piece of Hound Dog by Elvis. We'll do Don't Stop Believin'. We'll do Highway to Hell. Yeah, all in the same key. Sometimes we'll do Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. We'll do Hold On Loosely by 38 Special. So yeah, it's good for the people that are coming to see us, that are tagging along with their friends that may not necessarily be a Bon Jovi fan or a big Bon Jovi fan. At least you throw something in there that they might know, and it always goes over well. So that's only when we really need to do that. And it's usually every show. Just the last show was a 50-minute. I think we played like 9 hits in a row, and that was it. Yes, you do catch them by surprise doing that, but we get people that follow us, travel, so they know what's coming. But it's cool when you see people that haven't seen you before, and they're kind of like, what the hell are they doing? And it's a good time. Good time. Do we play mostly in New England? For the most part, yeah. We the Saturday after Thanksgiving, we are way up in New York somewhere, Monticello, New York, the Monticello Raceway and Casino. We've gone down as far as Biloxi, Mississippi. We do the Pennsylvania, the Mohegan, Pocono shows the last 3 or 4 summers. Where else have we gone? New York, we play a lot. But it's mostly New England. We're based in. We all have regular jobs, and so we're not just a band that plays, goes on the road. We do have jobs and kids and families and stuff like that. So this is more of a weekend thing, unless it's special circumstances. My regular job. All right. My regular job. Let's see which one. It's mostly computer work. I was doing website design for a long time, and I kind of got out of that because bigger companies like GoDaddy and stuff like that were just squashing us little guys. So I still do it from time to time. I have a few clients that I do work for. I do all the band social media stuff. I do my Rocket Dad podcast, all that stuff. But my wife is an optometrist, so we have an office. I do the computer, help them with the computer stuff there. If they need deliveries done, I do that. What else? What else do I do? I have a few different things. I'm always doing something. Yeah, IT, and I'm able to work from home, so that's why I can do this. And this is why the easiest time for me to do these streams is in the morning on the East Coast here, because there's nobody else left in the house. At night it's tough because everybody's home. All you other people, don't be afraid. Get into the chat. Ask questions. Tell me to shut this off. Anything. Work-life balance is important. Yes, it is. And I've come to learn over the years that I try not to sweat. Like, if there's a band issue now, and every band has issues. If there's a band issue now, I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care. There are more important things in life to worry about. So I try not to let stupid things bother me anymore. It's tough though. But like I don't know if you guys know, I did a CD a few years ago called Voiceless, and I did it. I didn't plan on doing it. I did it because my older daughter has Crohn's disease, and I did it to raise money for research for that. And that's when you just, you know, everything else don't care about. So she's doing well, and I'm thankful for that. She's doing much better. So, all right, Ryan, take it easy. Thanks for coming by. Hopefully, I'll do another one when you can get on from work again. But take care. My daughter she's actually, today is her birthday. She's at school now, but she just turned 15 today. She was diagnosed when she was 7. So she's been living with it for a while, and she is one of the strongest people I know. So she never complains about it. I don't know how she does it, but she doesn't complain. But she's doing really well. The doctors and everything are great, and they got her on a good program. And she has no like hindrances, no. She figure skates, and she's able to do everything that everybody else does. So it's a good thing. Yes, they are. Johnny's got a question. He's looking to simplify the rig with pedals. He's been looking at the Helix. I've had the Boss GT8 in the past, and I don't know if the GT100's any better, if they improved it, or if they just made it, you know, more options available. The Helix to me blew it away easily. In everything as far as effects quality, noise. Like when I was using my Helix and 4-cable method with whatever, I had the Friedman, I have the Marshall, there was no noise whatsoever. So check out the Helix LT. You can get, especially with Christmas coming up, you can get a good deal from like Sweetwater and all those. Try it out. Order from Sweetwater. 45-day money back. If you don't like it, you can send it back and get your money back. But it's by far the easiest pedal board, you know, model or pedal board effects thing I've ever used. They give you a little thumb drive in the box, and for the longest time I thought it was like all the software you have to install. I just installed it off the website, the Line 6 website. Come to find out, like 2 or 3 months later, that little drive is the manual, just to read the manual. Yeah. It's the manual, and I didn't know that, and that's what I'm saying. That's how easy the Helix is to use, because I never once opened the damn manual. It was always turn it on, turn some knobs, and then with the editor that I have up here, it's just easy. Yep, you never need the manual, and if you do need it, I mean, you don't even have to. Then you have to take it off the stick and open it there. Just go to the website or go to one of these forums. Go on YouTube. Yes, you can learn it in 5 minutes. Go on YouTube. That's how I'm learning. Well, the funny thing is that as far as the Helix goes, no problem, Johnny. As far as the Helix goes, you can learn it in 5 minutes, but there is just so much involved in this thing that I'm not even. There's no way I'd call myself an expert or even close to an expert. There's just so much that I still have to learn, and that's why I'm on YouTube all the time. I'm on the Line 6 Helix forum, like many of you guys are. On Facebook. I'm on the gear page. I'm always checking stuff out. TheFriendlyGearFreaks.com, Rig Talk. Yeah, the sag and the bias on the amps. I rarely ever touch that stuff. Like I said yesterday. Yeah, the amp sims can be turned. Well, it's not that you turn them off. You just don't put an amp model in the chain. So when you're building your effects, your pedal board with a regular amp, you don't have to. You just put in what you want to use. You do have to separate it. So if you use 4-cable, you can actually put your overdrives in front of your amp, and your time-based stuff like your delays and reverb after the amp. So you have to put in a, I don't know if it's a loop. I haven't done it in a while. Raspberry would be able to tell us if you use a loop or if you use, it's one of the blocks. I don't even remember. Maybe if I can look here. But you just set it up like a regular pedal board on the screen or on, you know, the Helix itself. What you see on the editor is basically what you see on the screen of the Helix. So either way, and the other good thing about the Helix, when you're at a gig, and this is what I had trouble with the fractal stuff, if you're at a gig and you need to make some kind of change, it's like that. You can make a change in 2 seconds with the Helix. With the fractal stuff, you had to go into different menus, and it just didn't have time for that, to go through that stuff. Some guys it doesn't bother, you don't care, but so yeah, Johnny, if you're reading the chat, Raspberry is giving some good pointers too, as far as not using the amp sims. I think on custom tone, when I had the Friedman, my preset that I was using for the Friedman, the 4 cable method is up there. So if you wanted to if you got a Helix and you wanted to download that and just apply it to your amp, it might get you a little bit of a start. And they also, in the templates, if you go into the editor and also on the Helix itself, I'm looking now, there's a 4 cable method template that's already set up that has what you need, and you can just swap effects in and out. Yep, set list 8. You know, it's funny, on my Helix, I have Factory 1, Factory 2, User 1, User 1, then I have one called Bon Jersey, User 3, User 5, and templates. So I bought this one used, so somewhere along the line, someone has 2 User 1s in here, so I can always change that. Alright, we're almost at an hour here. I wasn't expecting to go this long, but people are still on here watching, so yeah, I can rename. That's why, like I said, I renamed my Bon Jersey one Bon Jersey, so when I'm at a gig, I know I'm in the right preset bundle. If there are anybody else have any questions, any other comments, questions, send them in. And I'll do this again another time. Maybe next week we'll do another one. I've been trying to like put in the date ahead of time, but I never know when I'm doing the next day. So it's always like an hour before I'll put something up. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, and you like this, you know, subscribe and you'll get the alert. Sorry, I'm just replying to somebody on Facebook here that's asking me about the Helix. I know it is early, but like I said, so that's why I'm gonna maybe next week I will try to set one of the days next week. It's gonna be in the morning again, but maybe if I set it like over the weekend, people can make plans if they want to get on here and check this out. Take care, Johnny. Thanks for coming. Hopefully we'll see you again. But definitely check out the LT. Should get the singer over and do a live set. That is actually a good idea, but the problem with that is, and this is something that not a lot of people know about my band, we all live about 90 minutes away from each other, so we don't rehearse, first of all, because it doesn't work. Somebody's going to have to drive. And with everybody being busy with family and, you know, kids and jobs, it just wouldn't work. We have streamed live before, though, shows on Facebook. It just depends on if the venue has a good Wi-Fi signal or not. Yeah, Skype does have too much latency. I mean, I guess we could do it here on Facebook. We just wouldn't be able to really hear what we need to hear, I think. Maybe Friday night, if I can't remember if this venue has Wi-Fi or not. We haven't played there in years, but Maybe if there is Wi-Fi, maybe we'll stream on Facebook. So if you haven't liked that page on Facebook, it is, hold on, I should know this, but facebook.com/Bon Jersey Tribute. So if you go like the page, if we stream it, you'll be able to see it from there. Yeah, you mean I play the guitar parts and you pick up your stream and sing along, kind of like the Naked Drummer. See, now my Helix editor just went, so I did something to make it not like this. So it's saying it's not connected, but as we know, it is connected. And I don't know what I did. So I'm going to shut that down. Well, the other problem is he would need to get all this equipment too, which I don't think he has to be able to do that from his house. So. I wonder why this is going on with this editor. I'm unplugging some stuff here. Not that you guys can see it, but it's easier for me to change things to the editor than having to reach down next to me. Let's try this again. I'm going to try to reload it. Just waiting for this to come up. Yep. Yeah, this is doing the same thing as yesterday. The editor is just, on my Mac, is just bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Not opening yet. Let's see what happens. Alright, it is up and working right now, but we'll see what happens with that. I got all kinds of USB cables going. It is, like you said, there's just too much going in, so I'll deal with it for now. It's back up. It seems to be working, so we'll just leave it at that. The only thing I did that changed was I shut one of my windows in Firefox, and then all of a sudden the editor crapped out. But we'll leave it at that. I just had what's that song I was trying to think of yesterday? Hold on. Let's see if any of you guys know this. I think I played it yesterday, but name that riff. Anybody going to take a stab at that little thing that I played with the flanger? I am letting YouTube, this will go up on YouTube when I'm done. So you don't know what that is. Anybody else? There's a few more people watching, but obviously they're not responding. So let me play it one more time. Here we go, one more time. Is YouTube, is OBS saving a recording as well? That is a good question. It might be, but I thought I had turned that off. I'll check that after I'm done here. Because when I checked it yesterday, it didn't save anything. Yeah, I'm gonna check that. Definitely gonna check that. It could very well be that problem, but it's back up now, so it's working. This tone I'm using right now is Wild in the Streets, Bon Jovi, Wild in the Streets, which is the verse part. But that's that. Most of the tones I'm using are similar. It's just certain songs have certain effects, and then like again, it's just the same two amps I'm using. I'm using the Line 6 2204 mod or the US Deluxe normal. Well, that Raspberry Wild in the Streets was that one. This one. That wasn't the riff I played before. So the riff I played before was Warrant, Mr. Rainmaker, which was off of their it was Cherry Pie album, the second album. Just always loved that riff. It's just a cool little thing, and the song when it kicks in just kicks ass. I had Warrant. I opened my old original band, opened for them, like I think it's 4 or 5 times, and really nice guys. Put on a fun show, and played. You name an '80s band, I've never heard of those that you're listing, but you name an '80s band, I probably did shows with them, for the most part. Let's see, there's Warrant, Cinderella, Quiet Riot, Firehouse. Sebastian Bach, CC DeVille Poison, Honeymoon Suite, Great White. Early 80s, I hadn't even started playing guitar yet, so I really wasn't into that. Early 80s, I hadn't even started drums yet, I don't think. Or maybe it's right around when I started playing drums, but I didn't start guitar until I was like almost a senior in high school. Yeah, my computer is going really slow right now, so I'm probably... Hold on one second, guys. Someone is asking me for the link to this chat. Yeah, I'm not really a punk fan for whatever reason. Same thing. I'm not a thrash fan. Nothing wrong with it. I just never, those things never did anything for me. Just like rap. I mean, I can appreciate all styles of music. It's just not what I enjoy. So. And the Helix device is not connected again. So there is something going down. I think you are right, Raspberry, that there's too much going on my computer. So I'm just going to shut that editor down. So we're almost done here. I got some stuff I got to get done that relates to my house and some other things besides that to do. My phone just does not stop. But any last questions, comments, requests? I want to go back to that Van Hagar tone that I had on earlier. I just love that. It's just so fun to play. Yep, that's that the old Van Halen pitch detune. You know, you got two different. It's tuned differently on each side, so it's like 11 cents, I believe, off the pitch shift on each. Minus 11, plus 11, so you're getting a massive stereo spread. Time delay. I don't think. No, I don't think there's any. Are you talking about the videos? It's the sync is not right yet, or are you asking if there is a time delay on that preset? The patch. No, yeah, it's a very slight. Like if you really listen, you can hear like one side's a little bit behind the other, but when you hear it together, it's just a lot of fun to play. It just has that Van Halen stereo goodness. I think I got this a little too hot. I'm clipping, so I apologize if you're hearing some kind of rumbling going on when I play. All right, so we're over an hour here, so let's wrap this up. Thank you for coming back today and helping me sort this audio and video sync problem I was having. Hopefully today's video was a little bit better. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel and you like this kind of thing, subscribe and you'll get alerted to when it's going on. I always try and post it on the Line 6 Helix group on Facebook. No clipping, good. I like hearing that. I think I just broke my pick. All right, so I'm gonna sign off now, guys, and as always, it was a pleasure, and thank you so much. And I will, like I said, I'll try to set one of these up next week and give a little bit more of a heads up on this. So I'll talk to you guys, or I'll see you guys. I'll chat you guys later. Take care.